Good afternoon, Bulldogs, and welcome to this inspiring edition of Bulldog Broadcast. This week's theme is Breaking Through. I'm Kendall Anderson.
And I'm Naomi S.J. We're here at New Mexico State University, where every day students break through barriers as they work hard to complete their education.
Stay tuned for this innovative episode of BBC. The presidential race is already heated and being broadcasted on social media everywhere, even though the election isn't until November.
It really feels like everyone's getting involved. Many students here at LCHS will be able to vote come election time. The Hispanic electoral vote is expected to reach an all-time high in 2016, with more than 27 million Hispanics eligible to vote, up from 19.5 million in 2008.
Most of the growth has come from a wave of Hispanics entering adulthood. Between 2008 and 2016, 6 million Hispanics have turned 18, becoming eligible voters. Daniel Salinas brings us more on how one presidential candidate is provoking Americans to vote.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
Donald Trump's accusations of the Mexican people have offended many. Ramona Diaz speaks out about her issues with Mr. Trump.
I believe most of my race, the Hispanics, are probably thinking the same way as I do, is I'm going to step out and make a difference that he doesn't get voted in, because if he's going against our race, that means we're not gonna be seen as anything.
And while Ramona Diaz may feel that her vote doesn't count, Scott Kraling, the chief deputy clerk, points out that every vote matters.
It may seem, when you think about the president, that your one vote doesn't count because the numbers are so large, but it does, and it matters. You got to pay attention and think about the way that the leaders are affecting your community, and pay attention and become active.
When all the beans and all the pennies are counted and gathered, they make a huge difference.
The presidential race is more radical than ever. One candidate, Bernie Sanders, is even proposing free college.
Wouldn't that be nice? But for now, we'll have to rely on scholarships and financial aid in order to get an education. But a few LCHS students are venturing further than typical scholarships.
United World College was founded in 1962 with the vision of bringing together young people and offering an educational experience based on shared learning, collaboration, and understanding, so that the students would act as champions of peace. Mia introduces us to these ambitious students.
Every year, sophomores and juniors are given a chance to study abroad in 15 different countries. 1,000 students are selected to break through their comfort zones and study in environments around the world. Taylor Watson, a junior at Las Cruces High School, applied last October 15th, made it to the final round, and is currently on the wait list.
Well, it really helped with college applications and the whole process. I already have essays already written.
The process of applying for UWC is open to anyone but is taxing. The National Committee in New Mexico is the Davis Program Scholarship that helps pay for student tuition. They select kids from all over the world with different ethnicities and religions.
Most conferences I've been to feel forced, and I don't like them. But the on-site interview was really fun because everyone was very like-minded and had very similar views and opinions on certain issues. So that was nice to meet people.
Speak to your counselor if you're thinking of applying, or go to uwc.org. I'm Mia Tantodonati reporting for Bulldog Broadcast.
Now Hannah brings us an enlightening segment on the quiet violence that affects over 6 million of American children.
When I was little, I used to think the ones I loved would never hurt me. I used to think that they would always be there for me. I used to think the pain I felt was normal. Every day, I believed it would get better. But the dark days kept coming. Further into myself I sunk, never breathing a word of the things that ate me up inside. Because if I did, would it matter? Even if you ask, even if you listen, you wouldn't understand. Because how could you ever understand what it's like to be beaten and betrayed by those who were supposed to love you the most? I used to think they wouldn't listen. I used to think they wouldn't care. But they did. I broke through the silence. It was hard at first, but the more I opened up, the more I realized that I wasn't alone. And I've learned that it isn't my fault. I know things can get better. They did for me, and they can for you.
Thanks, Hannah. So, Naomi, are you going to the Sadie Hawkins dance?
No, I don't have anyone to ask.
Dude, that's all right. You can go anyway. Anyone can go.
Winter Ball is on its way. It will be a Sadie Hawkins dance this year, so girls, it's your turn to ask. The dance will be on Saturday, February 13th from 8 to 12 p.m. in the North Commons. Ticket prices will raise over time. February 5th through 8th will only be $5, 9th through 12th, $10, and at the door it will go up to $20. That's all we have for you this week, dogs. I'm Naomi S.J.
And I'm Kendall Anderson. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.